Hey guys, this is Todd Core, student pastor at Harmony Hill. This is our, I believe, fourth episode of the Zoom Chronicles, and so delighted to have this opportunity to connect with different students and check in on how they're doing during this pandemic. And today I have a special guest, Miranda. Miranda, why don't you just briefly introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Miranda. I have a rather large family, so that's been a lot of fun. I have three siblings. It's not as big as some families, but rather large. I'm in 10th grade and I'm on the Barnabas team at Harmony Hill.
Awesome. Well, it is good to talk to you. So, how have you been keeping yourself busy during these quarantine days?
Like I mentioned, I have a big family, so just keeping my siblings' schoolwork. I'm the oldest, so keeping the house clean and lots of laundry. We also planted a garden and we have animals, so just lots of different things.
Man, so between the animals and siblings and school, your days sound pretty full.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of downtime.
So, Miranda, you were one of our team members that went to the Dominican Republic, which was about, I guess, 5 weeks ago, but it seems like 2 years ago in quarantine time. But as you reflect back on that trip, what's maybe like one of the fun memories that sticks out still, even all these weeks later?
Um, I definitely have to say the airport. We had a 15-hour flight delay on our flight out of Houston, so we got to bond over some goodies that the airport gave us, including Rice Krispie treats. We learned that they can solve everything. And just thinking back on the different meals that we had together and just the time that we got to spend together.
Yeah, it was getting there was a an ordeal, but we did survive it. We made it, and yeah, we had a good time. So, for those that maybe have never done one of our Pelican trips, um, what can you just briefly describe kind of where we stayed and a little bit about what we did while we were there?
So we actually stayed at a home of a pastor. She wasn't the pastor of the church that we were working with, but she was really, really welcoming, just like everyone there was. Like, there was never a time that I really felt out of place there. Everyone, they cooked for us and they cleaned up after us, and it was just really humbling. I mean, just seeing the different lifestyle that people live in other parts of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. There was it was certainly different. We were piled up in that house. They were super great hosts, and we learned what it meant to have baths where you scooped water, and dumped it on your head, but it was all good. So, what was some of the ministry stuff that we did?
Well, we were actually building a bathroom for the family next door to the church that we were serving in, and we got to carry cinder blocks and pass concrete down the assembly line and just really get to know our foreman, Randy. He was awesome. He spoke English, so we really got to know him. And we also did vacation Bible school with some of the kids. On average, we had about 50 kids come each day, and they were so sweet. I miss them so much.
Yeah, you guys did a great job with the kids. You were especially kind of on the younger kids team with coming up with crafts and some of this. Didn't you help with some of the skits as well?
Yeah, I did the last day. It was, I think, the one where they lower some man down in front of Jesus and he heals him. I think it was a
Yeah,
paralyzed man. That
yeah,
was a lot of
that's
fun.
it. Yeah, it was really good. And so, man, that was a lot of fun and kind of cool that we kind of got back into the country right as everything was shutting down. So it was
Yeah.
perfect timing.
They had actually shut China down right whenever we were coming back, like the day before we left. No, it was Europe. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
Europe. Yeah, yeah, that was kind of scary a little bit being over out of the country and seeing our president, shut down flights from another country. And but yeah, it's kind of wild. All right. Well, thank you, Miranda, for that update on that. And I guess before we leave that, I didn't really mention this in the before we started, but What was maybe something that God showed you while we were there? What's maybe like a spiritual lesson that you took away from that?
I have to say, just like the thought that right now there's people in countries that are having conversations just like this one, probably not over a computer, but just the thought that there's millions of people out there that are worshiping God right now. And I mean, the Bible says that where two or more meet, there I am also. So just the thought that God is everywhere and here, like, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you mentioned that. That's one of the reasons we like to go on the take students on those trips, is to remind us that God is working around the world. Not He is working in Lufkin, but not just in Lufkin. It's around the
Yeah.
world. That's cool. All right. Well, this is one of my favorite parts of these interviews, and we've got. And I'm going to use my kids' little deal again. Show and tell. Wah, wah. All right. So I've asked Miranda to bring up or to have some item that she thinks is interesting, funny, just has sentimental value, whatever she's chosen, and then describe a little bit about why she chose it. So, Miranda, what have you got for show and tell?
Okay, so I brought this little cross necklace. It's actually from the Dominican Republic, and it is my aunt's wedding gift in May. So it's very sentimental because I'm hoping that they get to get married, but also just that maybe she'll like it because I mean it's from another country, and it's like, hey, my niece brought me this super cool thing from another country, and
That's really cool. That's very thoughtful. When is their wedding date scheduled? Do you know
May
offhand?
30th.
So
Yeah,
they've still got a shot, possibly, of at least a small gathering of some sort. So,
yeah.
well, very cool.
Well, and we've already mentioned that like we're gonna narrow it down a lot from a lot of people because it was gonna be like over 100 people. But also she has grandparents who are very immunocompromised. So I mean, she can't have a whole lot of people around them. So we were already gonna like set up a little area for them to stay, and everyone else can like wave at them 6 foot away.
Wow. Yeah. Just another way that coronavirus has turned the world upside down is these big moments like weddings.
Yeah.
So I hope that they'll be able to do it. It'll be memorable no matter what. They'll always remember that, however
Yeah.
it goes down. But yeah. All right. Well, Miranda, thank you for that show and tell. What another question before we get to a game? Um, I guess 4 or 5 weeks into this thing, what is something that God has taught you about Himself or about your faith, or is something that He's challenged you with? Sort of what's He been teaching you?
Um, I think that the biggest thing that he's taught me is that you just have to be still. And I mean, they were on that boat, Noah, they were on the ark for 40 days and 40 nights. And during that time, I mean, they didn't have phones and they didn't have endless amounts of food that they could gorge themselves with. And they didn't have computers and stuff to keep them entertained. So they were just constantly worshiping God. And I think that that's really something that people need to think about, as instead of getting on your phone and scrolling through Facebook for an hour, maybe get out your Bible and read it for 10 minutes and then go to Facebook. Just constantly worshiping God is the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's really good. I hadn't actually thought about that story, but it is ultimately a story of social isolation, not just for those 40 days and 40 nights, but I mean, when they land, there's nobody left, and so they had years of that kind of deal, and yet they were able to worship, and that's good. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so there's been this deal on Facebook where people have been, remembering seniors and posting. Somehow, this is helping our seniors to post yearbook photos of their senior year. And you're not a senior yet, but I just thought it'd be a fun game for us to show a yearbook photo and see if we could guess what grade the other person was in when that yearbook photo was taken. Um, I've known you for about 5 years, so we'll see how good I can be, and we'll see how good you are at judging what little kid Todd looked like. So, do you want to guess first on my pictures, or do you want me to guess yours first, or do you want to alternate back and forth?
We can alternate.
All right. Well, then, do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
I'll start.
All right. Let's do it.
Here. Okay.
Oh man. Whew. Okay, so this obviously before I met you, before middle school. Um, I'm gonna go with, is this first grade?
You're close. It's pre-K.
I almost went pre-K, but
Yep.
all right,
I was
very
on.
good, very good. Man, that's even for you. That's been a minute. All right, let me see if I can figure out this screen share thing for my first one. Um, let's uh, let's go with this. Can you see that photo?
Um, were you in sixth grade?
Man, what a guess. Yes, I was in sixth grade in that photo. All right, you're up on me 1-0. Man, yeah, that's what I would look like if I came to Harmony students as a sixth grader.
That's great.
All right, give me your next one.
It's bigger.
Okay. All right, so a little bit closer, a lot more easily recognizable to you today. I'm going to go with seventh grade.
Sixth.
Oh, so close. All right, let me see. All right, I've got. Let me try this one more time. You might be able to get it, I guess, but we'll see. All right. What do you think?
Were you a junior?
Very close as well, but I was in fact a sophomore in that photo
Oh,
back
okay.
in, like, I don't even remember, what would that have been, like 98, 1998, years before you would have even been born. But again, I fell down. You win 1-0. But that was fun. That was fun. I actually just enjoyed pulling out some old yearbooks for me. That's crazy. All right, so we'll close down this interview. I appreciate your time, but what are some ways that that people that watch this can be praying for you and your family?
Um, both of my parents are considered essential workers. My mom is a nurse at the state school, and my dad is a log truck driver. So they're constantly going out of the house and coming back in. And there was actually just a positive person where my stepmom is working. So just that she doesn't bring it home to us. Because, I mean, none of us have any type of underlying condition or anything. So, I mean, hopefully we would be fine. I know that if it's God's will, it's going to happen, but it's just really scary to think about.
Absolutely.
And also for church camp, because that's one of my favorite things during the year. And if they even delay it or anything, I won't be able to go because I take college classes during summer. And I'm taking one in
Uh,
July right after whenever we would go. So just praying that it doesn't get canceled.
yeah, those are certainly things we're trying to figure out with the rest of the the world. So, yeah, we can be praying for that. Yeah, what summer's going to look like for everybody, and specifically for your family, as COVID-19 is maybe even a little bit more real, as there's been a positive case where your mom works. All right, last thing, is there anything that you want to say to your fellow students? Maybe a word of encouragement, or just anything you'd like to say to them?
Actually, yes. I just want everyone to stay in their word because that is the biggest thing is staying in your word. I mean, you can't learn more about God if you're not learning about Him. And also just keep praying. And if you need anything, you can reach out to me. I mean, I'm down to just chat on the phone for an hour or 10 minutes.
Yeah, very good. Well, Miranda, I really appreciate that word, and I echo that. We will emerge out of this thing, and I'd love it if our students felt closer to the Lord because of it. If that was one good thing that could come out of it, that would be amazing. So, thank you for watching. Thank you, Miranda, for being a part of this. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do that. Like, share, all those good things, and we will see you when we see you.